going great. How are you doing, man?
Doing good. Now, we talked to you a year, I think almost a year ago, right around this time of the year, about your work with Ka. How has that changed since last year? How's your body holding up? How's your mind holding up with a schedule like this?
Yeah, it's hard to believe that it's been a year. It's gone by so fast. I remember speaking to you about a year ago now. It's obviously then everything was a lot newer. It'll be 2 years this month since I've been at CAR, so I was probably been in about a year at the time, and it's still kind of, even though a year sounds like a long time, here it goes by very quick. So still kind of finding my feet and kind of trying to really nail down the role. So in the past year, I've really been able to explore more with the character and kind of improve the character a lot, in my opinion, kind of create more levels to the character, which I've really enjoyed doing, actually. Along with, actually, we've really worked hard on improving the fight scenes, which were already really good, but we've created some really, really cool choreographed fight scenes that I'm really proud of now. And as you said, in terms of my body, I feel great. We have some fantastic physical therapists here, and they do everything at Cirque du Soleil and at CAR to kind of ensure that we're in the prime physical state, that we're fit and healthy and ready to go at all times. So they really do take great care of us. And mentally, man, I'm really good. I'm very happy. I got a fantastic job here with great people that I work with every day, and I'm really proud of the show that we put on. So the only problem I have is time's going by too fast. That's the only problem I have, because I'm enjoying myself so much. Literally a year has gone by since the last time we said, and it's just, if someone asked me, I would have said a couple of months back, so that's the only thing that I don't like so much, is that old age is creeping up on me, I guess, being 35 years of age now, but everything else is really good, man. I'm loving living here in Vegas. I'm loving what I do, and I'm loving working with the people that I work with, so life is good, man.
Did your pro wrestling past really set you up for success in this role? Because you mentioned developing a character, you mentioned fight scenes and things like that. Did that help you, or did maybe that change of pace was that a heavy adjustment?
No, not at all. Yeah, 100%. Wrestling primed me for this job without an absolute doubt. So many things that I learned and did in the wrestling world I've carried over to what I do now. There's a lot of similarities in what I do now to what I did in wrestling, and I've been able to bring a lot of that over. Obviously in wrestling, the physicality is a big part of it, and having good matches and kind of being athletic and putting that kind of side of stuff on. But it's also really important to portray a character, because if you're just a blank canvas and you have good matches, well, nobody really cares. But if you're able to portray a character and create a character and create a character and portray that through your physical presence and your movements, without saying so much, because there's no real speaking roles here in the show. So to be able to portray that through movement and the way you interact with other people physically and stuff like that, all of that comes from wrestling for me. Everything that I do in the show, for the most part. So yeah, it's been massive for me. I was really lucky to fall into wrestling and kind of have so many great years and have such a great experience with wrestling that it's brought me to something that I love so much right now.
Speaking of wrestling, I know WWE reached out to you to do a story about your work with Cirque du Soleil. What kind of reaction did you get from within WWE, and did it surprise you? Because sometimes they don't necessarily. Sometimes when somebody's gone from the company, they distance themselves from them.
I think it all depends on how you leave the company and how you acted when you were there. I can't speak for anyone else, but I always had a great good relationship with everyone there and a great time working for that company. So when I left, I left on great terms, and I still spoke to some of the people higher up there, and some of the talents and stuff like that. So I think they actually got me into this role. I don't know if I'd covered that before, but
Yeah.
they were the ones that they contacted me saying that Cirque du Soleil had contacted them looking for someone to fill a role, and they actually put me forward for the audition. So, I think it goes more to do with what kind of relationship you have with them, and I always had a really good relationship, and still do to this day. When they reached out for the story, I wasn't surprised at all. It was both good PR for Cirque du Soleil and for the WWE and for me, and I didn't see any reason why they wouldn't. And then I think in terms of reaction from people at WWE, obviously it's such a huge company. A lot of the guys and some of my friends didn't actually know because, you have friends, but you don't always keep in touch. It's just kind of that thing. You could see someone that you haven't seen for 5 years, and you pick right off like you'd seen them last week. And so, it was quite funny. I got quite a few funny texts and stuff like that after the article broke. But there was a lot of also people reaching out to congratulate me as well. To say how happy they were that I found something so great. So that was cool as well.
So you've went from one demanding schedule in one career to another demanding schedule in the other. The main difference is you're not traveling. You're in Las Vegas. What has it been like adjusting to Vegas and to not being in a different city every single night?
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities between the both, but I guess one of the biggest differences is that I'm based here in Vegas now, and that they're both circuses. Wrestling is a circus, and obviously Cirque du Soleil is a circus. But being based here in Las Vegas has been nice to just kind of go home to my own bed and kind of have my own kitchen to cook my food and have the same gym that I go to every day to kind of have that schedule that I'm able to keep to every day rather than being on the road and trying to find a different hotel and renting rental cars, eating at Subway or Waffle House or wherever, and kind of just living out of your suitcase is kind of gets tough after a while because it can be mentally draining to kind of constantly be on the go and not really have time to relax and sit back and kind of enjoy what you're doing and think about what you're doing. And I've been able to kind of do that a lot more here and kind of live a lot more of a normal life if you can have a normal life working for the circus, But it's great. We do, we do 2 shows a night, 7, 9:30, from Saturday to Wednesday. So I have my weekends are Thursday, Fridays, and then I usually get to here about 4:30 every day. So all the time before that as well, I have the whole day to myself as well. So I have a lot more time for myself these days, which is probably a good thing and a bad thing. I don't know.
As we wrap up, is wrestling something that maybe you're contractually prevented from doing, or do you just not have the time? Like, how would they feel if you went and wrestled for some place in Las Vegas just out of the blue one night? Is that something you're even able to do?
I don't know. Perhaps I might be able to do it, but professionally, I don't think I'm in a position to do that. I don't think I'd want to put myself in a position where I can get hurt. That could affect what I do. And I'm like I said, I really love what I do, and I really enjoy it every day. And yeah, wrestling was amazing, and wrestling will always be with me for the rest of my life, and I'll always be a wrestler. I don't think I'll ever be an ex-wrestler. I don't want to refer to myself as an ex-wrestler. I'll always be a wrestler because it's in my blood. It's part of who I am. But it would be very unprofessional for me to go, wrestle on the weekend and kind of risk getting injured and risk my physical state just to kind of to do that, So for now, as long as I'm with Cirque du Soleil, I can't see myself doing any wrestling gigs.
Barry, I want to thank you so much for joining us. Of course, people can get tickets at cirquedusoleil.com/ka. Anything else you'd like to let the people know before we go?
No, just thanks everyone for listening, and anyone who's been a fan, I really appreciate it. And keep watching wrestling, man. Wrestling needs the fans, and it's great. What I love about wrestling is everyone has a different opinion, So it's, some people love it, some people hate it some days, and then it's vice versa. But wrestling is a great, great business, and so is cars. So if you want to come see me do my thing, and have some amazing fight scenes at the MGM Grand, Come to Vegas. I got a spare bedroom. You guys can stay with me.
Well, thank you so much. I look forward to talking to you again, Barry.
Cool. Thank you so much, Sean.